my daddy's make it hurt.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? I know this is not my usual time, but duty calls because I'm quite sure that you guys are aware of what's going on. Welcome to this little small special edition of the show. I am getting ready to share. So I'm going to say this one time. I could have saved this for tomorrow night, but as I've always said, when there is breaking news, here I come. First of all, I need to know one thing before I get started. Are y'all guys hearing the background music? That's all I need to know that. And then what I also need to know is, are you hearing additional music? If you're just hearing the background music, just let me know. I don't know what is going on. I got about 4 different things going on in my headset, and I have no idea why at all. So what I'm gonna do is take this off. I need to know if you guys can hear what's going on here. So somebody type that in for me real quick. If all you can hear is just small background music, cool. But if you hear 2 different things, let me know. Because I'm about to pull the plug on this if it's ragged in there. In the meantime, go ahead and share if you hear, if you can, and then we'll talk about this rather quickly, and then go on with it. I'm just doing that now, so forgive me. I've been knowing about the situation, but I finally got some time to talk about it. Okay, cool. You can hear background music. Thank you. But then we're good. I just got something else going on in my ear, and I don't know why. I have no idea why, but I will figure that out later. Since we're good on that, and I'll just take the headphones off and go with it from there. All right. We all know what's going on, and I'm still sharing. That's all I'm going to do there. We all know what's going on. If you have not heard, then the drama now on the field is not, well, it's already been here, but now is really here, because one of the things that training camp always produces, and it's just not our organization is in every organization. It's in every organization. Um, that is the depth when you have injuries for your team. We were not the first, and we will not be the last. I guarantee it. This is where the front office really makes their money. There's no doubt about it. This is where the front office and what they do. This is where money is made. It's made in the draft, no doubt. But this is when the depth of your football team is tested. And we are about to be tested because one of the depth pieces that I know for sure that we were counting on, beyond a shadow of doubt, is now gone. Is gone for the entire season. Just in case you have not heard, I'm quite sure you have by now because you are Cowboy fans like I am. Sam Williams, second round pick from a couple years ago. Guy that obviously has a lot of talent. And the Cowboys were looking for him to step up in a big way this year. Tore his ACL in practice today. And obviously he was carried off on a cart, according to all the reports and videos. And now it has been confirmed. It was confirmed that it is an ACL injury, in which, of course, he is done for the season. He's done. And so now, when you're counting on a certain piece and now that piece is not there, it leaves a gap. In the area, the old saying, next man up. Well, the Cowboys have no choice now. But however, those next couple of guys, and that's what I'm going to talk about, because there's no sense of talking about Sam as far as him being a contributor this season. There's no sense of talking about it. So we know him being a contributor. So now we got to look and see now where we are. And it carries me to different things. Let me speak to everybody before I go on my rant. Mr. Burns, how you doing, man? Karam, how you doing? Craig, I see you. Thank you for popping in. These are all the people that have spoken so far. As hello to you guys on X or Twitter. Listen, I need somebody to comment from Twitter. You're looking at me now. Go ahead and comment. I had to make sure that everything was set, but I see that you're in. Go ahead and comment. Just say hello or something so I know you're there. But hello to all of you that are on Twitter that are watching now. Let's go ahead and crank it up. Hello to all of you guys. Now, let's go ahead and get to business. Don't plan on being here long. First of all, let's get first things first. Hey, Lee. Feel bad, of course, for Sam. Prayers, condolences go out to him. I have no doubt that he will make a return. It just will not be this year. But I'm quite sure he has a whole year, based off where he got hurt. It almost reminds you of the Overshown injury from 2 years ago. It's highly possible that Sam will probably be, ready. He'll be released to run, way further, probably in the summer of next year. But however, if he got hurt now, it'd be a whole year from now, and he very well may be ready to go next year, right around this time. It would be a whole year, The question, of course, would be where really is he? Guys don't. We've especially here in Dallas, we've seen it where you just you're not yourself when you come off of ACL. It's in your first year back. We've seen that too many times. I'm not saying that would be the case for Sam because every athlete is different. But we have in cases like Michael Gallup, who never returned from himself, and here we are a couple years later, and he's retired. Then you get somebody like Terrence Steele, who struggled, and he played. The jury is still out on Demarin Overshown. The jury is out on Trayvon Diggs. We just don't know until we see it, where they really are. And so but what we do know is that our guys have not been the same when they initially came back. I'm interested to see where Trayvon will be. I'm interested I have no doubt that Terrence Steele he'll be the guy because he played on it last year. He's definitely much better health-wise as far as his knee. He's be his second year on it. He survived it. I expect Terrence Steele to be back, but everybody else who's had this injury is just we don't know. We don't know where Overshown would be like. We don't know what Trayvon Diggs is like. We don't know. We haven't seen it yet. So I anticipate Sam Williams next year around this exact time to be ready to go. But it does not. We don't know where he is. Kid Cowboy, let me go and address you now. Your comments don't have absolutely nothing to do with the topic. We ain't talking lame duck coaches. We're not talking about who getting paid. If you read the title, you would have saw we talking about an injury that just happened. So I don't know why you doing all that, but have your way. Anyway, so condolences to Sam Williams. Hope that the surgery goes well. Hope that he recovers. Obviously, he's gonna have plenty of time to recover, and hopefully he'll come back to us. Hopefully stronger than what he has ever been. Yeah, but you don't get to change the narrative, though, Kid Cowboy. If you look at your phone or computer, you'll see what the narrative is. You don't get to change the narrative. That's where you see. I make up the narrative. If somebody want to join you in and you try to change the narrative of what it is, then there you go. But right now, we're talking about Sam Williams and now what the Cowboys have to do to combat the injury. We'll see you, Kid Cowboy, when we talk about lame duck coaches and contracts. That's what you like to talk about. And until then, God bless you. Cowboys were counting on him. No doubt about it this year. Big. Big depth piece, because when you look at this is where we got to put the front office now back in the spotlight. Okay, injuries happen all the time. Of course, we won't be the last team to get some news like this. This is what happens. But it is the front offices as far as making sure that the depth is there. This is where they really make their money. You make your money in the draft, yeah, which represents depth. But what happens when multiple players get hurt and now you have to make a decision, as far as I'm concerned, on saying, okay, next man up, or um, or you say we're going to go get something. This is where you are, and history shows, at least with us, because we all know, as usual, Cowboys don't believe in making moves. So you automatically know or assume based off their previous history that they're going to say next man up. Okay, so then the question becomes, okay, Sam Williams is gone. He's obviously the first guy, probably as a defensive end, to come off the bench past D Law, past, if you want to say Michael Parsons is on the line. Um, then Sam was probably the next guy coming. Okay, followed by the other, defensive ends that we had listed as defensive ends are the rookie Nealon and then Fiaco, who we drafted a couple years ago, I believe from San Jose State. So those are the two depth pieces. Now, you know how the Cowboys are. They love guys who can flex, guys that can play two positions and all that type of stuff. Golston can do that. But Golston's career, he's only had, I believe, 3.5 sacks. Now, I want to be fair to Golston because Golston has not played a lot. He's played, but he's not played a lot. And so you just can't just go completely cuckoo and say, well, he's a trash or he's a bum because he has only 3.5 sacks for his career. Well, he really ain't played. I mean, when you look at who played before him, Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong, those two guys were the top two guys coming off the bench. And then you had other guys right after that. So Golston really hasn't had the chance to play to really give a proper judgment on him yet. He's very talented, big guy, just ain't had the opportunity. So I'm not saying that he's Sam Williams, and I'm not saying he's not. It's just that I believe that he's going to get, obviously, more of an opportunity to show himself. Of course, that means that we are going to be dependent upon when Sam goes down, more reps and more plays are going to come to the guys that are behind him. So you figure that Nealon, the rookie that was just started, who they said was a DeMarcus Lawrence replacement, no doubt will get a lot of time. And then Fiaco, I believe, will get in more of an increase in his reps, and obviously will get some time because the Cowboys really have depth problems on the defensive end. Now there's some other guys that are there, and then of course, with the roster being so full, there are other defensive ends there, but we all know that the cut will go down, and you're gonna have to have 52 to 53 people there. All right. But Tyrone, they just drafted two guys from the XFL yesterday. So I mean, all that's gonna be done. However, here's the other part of it. Everybody's gonna make that cut, and maybe the answers, because it's gonna be some defensive ends cut. And they're going to be sitting there waiting to try to join other teams. And no doubt, I would not be surprised later on, maybe about week 4 of the preseason, that when that final cut goes on, I'm quite sure, I will put it this way, I'm sure that the Cowboys will entertain maybe getting somebody that, is already in shape. Somebody that probably got some game film in preseason games, and I'm quite sure the Cowboys will pick somebody up from there. Hopefully it's somebody good. It makes sense to do something like that to me. Now it makes no difference if they're a veteran or if they're young or whatever. Uh, you know, just don't know. You may get some of these guys that got traded and they may get cut. There's gonna be some good players that are gonna get cut. And maybe that's where the Cowboys may find the replacement per se for Sam Williams. But until then, they're gonna go rock from within. And keep in mind, a lot of guys that are presumed starters or maybe even second string guys, a lot of those guys are not gonna be playing in the preseason anyway. So a lot of these guys, maybe Tyrone, even though you said that, you make sense actually, because the Cowboys obviously are going to need camp bodies. Those are the guys that are going to be playing in the preseason, and who knows, you get your shot, you very well may make the team. As far as those type of guys goes, but everybody keep in mind that 32 teams total. Everybody has the same final cut day, and then once you cut them, they're open to be they're free agents, and then they can sign with another team. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll see then where we are. But make no mistake about it. Don't want to minimize this at all. It's a big loss. It's a big loss. If you're saying, well, how's a big loss when Sam really ain't played and he ain't done that? It's a big loss just if you look at it from a depth, eye lens, or perspective. It's a big loss. It's a huge loss. It's a huge loss just from the perspective of it's from perspective of that now the guys that were under him who hardly played now that they're going to be elevated to the position now that they are getting more reps, which obviously means they're gonna get more playing time. And you just gotta see that. And so there's an opening now as far as defensive end goes. Guys are going to be charged up because they know this is their opportunity. There's going to be some competition there. No, Fowler is gone. Fowler's gone. Armstrong is gone, and Fowler. That's why this is a huge loss. Even though Sam has not, gotten a tremendous amount of snaps, the snaps that he got, you can see the effect that he has on the game, just with the pressure alone. So Armstrong is gone and Fowler is gone. The guys that are behind Sam Williams were Fiaco and our rookie that we just drafted, Nealon. And then the guys that are there for camp. So we're talking about guys, and if you want to throw Golston in, you can throw him in as well. But now we're talking about guys who really have not hit the field. That's the difference when you get Sam. Sam has been on the field. Now you're in the hands of two guys, at least the guys that I'm calling out, that were behind him, who never hit the field. That includes the rookie, of course. So, and then when you factor in the front office and see how they operate, you already know, at least initially, that the Cowboys are not going to try to make no type of move. They're going to, at least for now, I believe that, and I'm not blaming them, at least on this one. I believe that the answer is going to be when the cut happens. And you have all these guys that's going to be sitting there. I believe that's where they're going to really fill in that spot if needed, unless one of you guys really step up and they feel like they don't need it. But even then, I think you still need to go get a guy, even if somebody step up. You need somebody, depth. See, this is just the first major injury of the year. We're not even talking about from now until the end of the season. People get hurt obviously during the season. People gonna get hurt in the preseason. People are gonna get hurt in the regular season. And we're almost thin. And I'm not even counting. Like I said, they have all what they need right now in camp. Shoot, they're over 90 players there. So I mean that but when you get down to the 53, okay, how many defensive ends are you gonna carry into a regular season game with you? See what I'm saying? That's where it gets tricky. And if you're carrying more defensive ends, then you're suffering in another spot. See what I'm saying? So you may say I'm gonna carry 6 defensive ends this week. Okay, well then you got to subtract from another position somewhere else. So it's huge that Sam goes down. It's huge. It's huge. And I believe the Cowboys will have the answer, just depending on how they attack it. Do they want to go get a real guy, or do they just want a depth piece? So there's the question. But they can get it. I mean, they can get the guy. That's not even the issue. The question is what level of a guy from defensive end that you want. I'm not saying that you're going to get a Pro Bowl player. I'm not saying that you're supposed to go get somebody that's equal as Sam Williams was. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that what angle do you really want? Do you want a Dorrance Armstrong type guy, or do you just want a guy from the XFL type guy? Filling the spot ain't gonna be hard. It's just what's the quality of the player that you want. The way the Cowboys operate, I think we all know the answer to that question. See what I'm saying? So So Sam is gone, so they obviously are going to bring in somebody else to fill in that spot. I'm quite sure we'll get some type of news, say somebody's been signed or no name, no doubt about it. And to be honest with y'all, the Cowboys can't really do nothing anyway as far as getting a great player or a real mediocre player until they handle their business with the rest of the contracts. If that's what they're going to do. Cowboys got money to sign people now. I ain't talking about the obvious stuff. I'm talking about if they want to keep things the same and sign somebody right now, they can. They got the money. They've only spent, before training camp, $17 million. That's the least out of any team in the NFL. They got money to sign just a no name or whatever. That's not the issue. The question is to what level. And I don't think the Cowboys really want to go get a real go-getter. They would love to see one of these guys step up and, elevate their game to that level. That's just how we roll. But it's sad. I feel sorry for Sam, obviously. Feel sorry for him. I know he was looking for a big year this year, looking to step up. So, it's just it's a shame. This is the NFL. This is the NFL. This is what comes along with it. You get to moan and gripe from everybody. It's just like the Cowboys. They saw their teammate down. They saw the cart come on the field. They saw him ride off. But guess what happened about a minute and a half later? They had continued practice. And so that's how it's just got to be. It's cruel to say that. It's borderline insensitive to say this, but the season is coming. Cleveland is waiting on us. They're not gonna reschedule games because Sam Williams got injured and nothing. As soon as they wake up tomorrow morning, guess what? We getting closer and closer to Cleveland. And so you don't get a chance to cry over spilled milk too long. You just don't. I know it's insensitive what I'm saying. I hurt for Sam. I really do. I really do. I was banking on him to have a breakout season this year. I've said it on my show multiple times. I've said it. If you've been with me for a while, you know what I've said about him, and him, stepping up in a major way this year. I've said it, but we won't get a real chance to see that until right around this time next year. So the book is closed on him for at least for this season. Hopefully his rehab and surgery go well again. And then hopefully his rehab after that goes well. And then we'll take it from there. But until then, keep your eyes. Most of you have, just like me, most of you have the notification set on your phone to whoever it is that you listen to. As far as content from Cowboys, I'm not talking about what I do. I'm talking about the ones that are in the building, whether you follow them on Twitter or whether you have Dallas Cowboys app on your phone or Bleacher Report or wherever. Pay attention to what the Cowboys will do now as far as possible signings go. If you see a defensive end get signed, then you know why. You know why. If you see something. Now, here's what I want to propose. Let's get into a little football because I don't never want to get on here and talk about football. Let's talk about solutions now. Okay. Since Sam is gone and he was a player that we are counting on, that we can't count on now. So let's as a group try to figure this out and see how we would. In other words, we're playing GM now. Everybody now is the GM for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, if you don't, I saw something earlier, so I have to factor this in. And I'm going to get this out the way because it ain't going to take long to talk about it. If you are a GM now that is tanking the season, and it's not because of Sam Williams, it's just because you want to blow this up, then you're not trying really to add anything to make this team too much better. So that's why I say it's not going to take too long. If that's your stance, then you just got a nice little piece to add to what your goal is, by not making this team better. So you let things just ride out. You promote from within. You know the guys may not be ready, but you're not going to invest into their position. So you just gonna say, hey, we got guys, we're gonna play them, and they'll get better as the season go on and all that type of stuff. Then you don't do anything. You let things stay as they are. You're not worried about it. You hate for Sam, but you're not really trying to add because you really don't want to make this thing better because you got your eyes on the thing that y'all love to do the best, which is draft. Okay. So here it is. Yeah, Shane, good question. These are the solutions. Good question. I want to go on with that first, but since you put it up there, Shane says, since Sam is gone, does this put more pressure on the offense act to score? I can't say that, Shane, because Sam was a piece that we were dependent on, but he was not the presumed starter. We don't know exactly how yet. We don't know exactly, and that's what I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. Uh, we don't know exactly who the presumed starter would be. We don't know if Micah uh, was, we don't know if he was gonna line up as linebacker. I know they're gonna move him around, but when they line him up as linebacker, did that automatically mean Sam was gonna be the other end opposite of DeMarcus Lawrence? I would say yes. So I think the question to me now, and your question is legit, but I think the question really should be leaning toward the defensive side of the ball. What my stance is on Dak. As long as Dak is the quarterback, and even if he has no running back, like y'all said, he didn't have a running game last year, they still was the number one offense in the league in scoring. So scoring the ball really ain't never been the problem. And now you can go back a couple years back. Kellen Moore's offenses were the number one offenses in the league, top 3, if they weren't number 1. So scoring the ball ain't never been easy, even with a Brandon Cooks and CeeDee Lamb. Scoring ain't never been the issue. Not scoring points. We score. So I don't know. I guess I will say yes to your question. But Sam's absence from the lineup does not make, it's not catastrophic when you look at the entirety of the defense. I don't think, Sam would have impact, but I don't think it's like all we're done because Sam is gone. It's a loss. It's a huge loss. But I don't think he's that type of dude. You say if he's not there, you're done. I don't think that's the case. So the offense does what they do. Does it? I guess a question to be added, Shane, to your question. Does it make them have to be even more precise and perfect? Well, I don't. I still think the defense is still pretty good, even with Sam gone. We just lost an explosive player, and that is not, Nealon is not as explosive as Sam is. Fiaco is not as explosive as Sam is. If you move Golston out there, he's not as explosive, as explosive as Sam is, but they're good. We figure they're going to be real good players, especially in the case of Nealon, the rookie. We'll see. So I think that the jury's still out on your question, Shane. I think we need to look at it from the defensive perspective. The question really should be, what is the front office? How are they going to attack the issue? See what I'm saying? That's because now. But I'm gonna give you my solution. This is how we're gonna make it better. Sam Williams is a pressure player, right? Right, 4'3", 40, 4'3", 440 as a defensive end, freak athlete, strong, possible real difference maker. Now he's gone. So the pass rush will still be there. It could have just got taken to another level when you got D-Law, Sam Williams, and Michael Parsons all rushing at the same time. And Sam and then Parsons, of course, be coming from the middle or something like that. And you got D-Law on the other end, Sam on the other end. That's explosiveness. Okay, you still got D-Law as of now. You still got Michael. So the pass rush is still there. Okay. But in the event that, with Sam, this is the way I'm figuring it. And I might be wrong, but this is the way I'm figuring it. The quarterback does not have a lot of time if Sam, Micah, D Law is out there. I mean, not a lot of time at all. Okay, you take away Sam from there, the quarterback just gained just a little time. All right. So this is the way I figured that we can get better, and it ain't by signing a guy. Okay? This is what I think we ought to do. I think Jerry Jones, I know he ain't gonna do it, but this is what I would do. Sam tore his ACL today, King, in practice. This is what I would do. I would go ahead and sign Gilmore, because if we can't get home, your cornerbacks better be on point, or as best as they can. See, if you can't get no pass rush, your secondary better be able to guard people, because the quarterback is going to have a lot of time, scan the field, and make no mistake about it, as I said, Sam is gone, but pass rush is still there. Pass rush is still there. I ain't worried about that. Okay? So this is how you get better from a loss up front. You strengthen the best part of your defense. Okay, when you look at the defense as a whole, what is the strongest part of your defense? It's our secondary, and I'm including safeties. Corners and safeties is the strongest part of our defense. So why not add to your strength? That's how you make up. And you know that's how you make up for a loss of Sam Williams. If you can't get to the quarterback as quick, that means the quarterback will have time. Okay, then you need some sticky cornerbacks that can stay with some wide receivers or tight ends, whichever one. Gilmore is still sitting out there. To be, first of all, as of now, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but in training camp so far, the other cornerback is not Trayvon Diggs, as we knew he wouldn't be practicing. Right now it's Bland and Nashawn Wright. But we already know what Nashawn Wright is. I mean, we done seen enough of him. You're not going to be comfortable with Nashawn Wright week 1 against Cleveland, even though Nashawn, my thing about Nashawn was that he seems to be in position, he just never makes the play. I mean, he be right there, folks catching it on him. I mean, he be right there. He just does not have that instinct to make the play. I'm talking about even knocking the ball down. He be right there. He's a tall cornerback. He's somewhat physical. That's good. But he just does not make the play right there. I mean, you be right there and don't make the play. But if I know if I got Gilmore there, I know Gilmore will make a play. So in other words, when you have a loss like this, that affects the cornerback. Pass rushing affects cornerbacks in both ways. You get a quarterback time, eventually you're going to find a wide receiver. If the quarterback does not have time, your cornerbacks have a good chance to make a play on the ball. That's why I say the way that you combat this, now the Cowboys ain't going to do it because they ain't going to spend no money. I mean, we already know that. That's why I asked you guys to put on your GM hat. I say that you strengthen your strength. Your strength is your secondary. Gilmore is not going to be the only cornerback. You know, I saw a couple names that's there, but you got to keep in mind the Cowboys are not spending money. The guys that y'all named, Xavier Howard and Patrick Peterson, you know, Cowboys are not spending money. Now, Patrick Peterson may come cheap. You know, Xavier Howard, I doubt it. Yes, exactly, William. I said that earlier. Came in just a little late. I said that earlier. It just depends on. See, the Cowboys already have this mindset that we'll go to the XFL. I just put on my page yesterday for those that are on the Big Time Show Facebook page. You saw that the Cowboys signed two more players from the XFL, another wide receiver, I think, two of them actually, I think. And you don't put a lot into that because it's camp bodies. You know what I'm saying? Guys are not, starters really not going to play in the preseason. So, you got to get through these 4 games of preseason with try to minimize as much injury or whatever. Your starter's just not going to play. So you got to have these type of guys. So, William, what I said was Sam is just a little different because he was going to be heavily dependent upon this year. And then when you look behind him and say, well, okay, well, who are the guys? Well, the guys are Nealon, who's a rookie, so we really don't know what he is. Then you got Fiaco, who's been with us for a couple of years now, but hadn't played at all. And then if you want to throw in Golston, he ain't played. And all those guys, it's not fair to bring in Nealon on that, but between Fiaco and Golston, it's only been 3.5 sacks. And all 3.5 come from Golston. So look at the drop off from Sam and then behind there. Okay. So last year it was Dante Fowler, Dorrance Armstrong, and then Sam. See the difference? All of those pretty much to me are solid. Now you got Sam, he gone now, Fiaco, and Nealon. See, that's not on that level. So I say, what type of the Cowboys are going to sign another guy? Yeah, I have no doubt about that. But here's my question: do you get that from XFL, or do you wait until the cut happens? Do you wait until the cut happens when after the 4th preseason game, everybody got to chop it down to 53? It's going to be a whole lot of good football players that's going to get cut from every team. Everybody got at least 90 players on their teams now. There's going to be some good guys that are going to get cut. Some of them are going to be cap casualties. All that type of stuff. It's going to be a defensive end in there. It ain't no question about that. So do they go get it from there and wait until week 1 or the practice week of week 1 to go get a guy? Or do you go ahead and just say, well, we're going to roll with Fiaco and Nealon? And knowing how the Cowboys operate, we already know that's probably what they would do. They'll come out here talking about, and then tomorrow when they start doing the press conference, you'll hear Mike McCarthy say next man up. And you hear everybody start saying next man up, and that's literally how the Cowboys actually run. No matter how far the drop off is, that's exactly what they'll probably say. And that's probably what they will do. I'm saying that you make to combat that, I'm saying that you strengthen your strength. The strength of this defense is the secondary. Ain't no sense of us talking about getting, a great defensive end or getting a real good player. All that. The Cowboys are not going to do that. Y'all know that. We've been here together too long. We know that the Cowboys don't like spending money. We don't get excited about big names. Cowboys never sign big name guys. Y'all know that. Ain't no sense of even entertaining it. Cowboys like to promote from within, and if they ain't promoting from within, out of the free agents that they got, they'll go to their local grocery store and get the free agent. Y'all know that. This is the way that it is in Dallas. We already know. We already know how it's going to be. We know how it's going to be. So there's no sense of start looking and seeing somebody going to say tomorrow, if for clickbait, this person should go to the Dallas Cowboys, and everybody going to start getting hype. And I'm not going because I know how we operate. We're gonna go to our local grocery store and our local place where we get oil changes. We're gonna go to Toys R Us and we're gonna go get a free agent, a guy that you ain't never heard from, and you ain't gonna do that. This is what we do, and that's where we're gonna get our defensive end from. Don't start calling out names and all that. Dallas does not spend money. You know that. So there you go. Yeah. You cowboy, I recognize that comment. You said Home Depot. That's exactly right. We'll go to Home Depot and go get a free agent. It's this is the cowboy way. It ain't nothing new. We've seen it for years now. We know how they operate. So I'm just trying to kill the narrative. I don't want y'all to get your stress level. I don't want y'all to say, dang, Jerry, make a move. Make a move. This is it. You got him. Jerry ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all know that. Don't even entertain. Don't even get hyped. Don't get hyped about possible replacements. Don't even get hyped. You know how Jerry is. You know how Steven is. Don't even let your blood pressure run up. Don't even do it. I just gave you what they gonna do. They gonna work from within. Fiaco, Nealon are gonna have to step up, because that's what they're gonna say, and they will get another depth piece from the XFL, and there you go. That's what they do. That's what they do. And they're not gonna sign anybody anyway, because they still trying to figure out the parameters of contract extensions for either Dak or CD. They in a position where they can't really go after no big name person in the first place. They got to sign their big names if that's what they want to do. Exactly, William. That's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly. That's their solution. You're absolutely right. Y'all see it in the chat. William St. McClay will grab a guy from another team practice squad. Exactly. That's what we do. So we already know that. And it makes no difference if they're satisfied with it. It is what it is. But however, for those GMs that are in this chat that I just said earlier, GMs that are in this chat that say this season was lost even before injuries and everything else and all that type of stuff, and got your eyes already on the draft, this injury essentially slightly in a bad, in your way, it helps you. Because a lot of y'all want the Cowboys to fall off a cliff so they can get get a draft in the top 5 or 6 in the first place. And this fits it. If players start getting injured and all that will help you. Well, a big piece fell out today. I know you weren't cheering for the injury, but the fact is that a big piece fell today. A depth piece, at least. It's a big one. But if you're trying to make something happen this season, you got to do something to combat a weakness. Make no mistake about it, your defensive line room just got weaker today. A major hit. That's the truth. Sam Williams, even though he wasn't a presumed starter, that was because you knew he was going to be a heavy contributor. I could actually see a package where Michael Parsons is lined up as a linebacker. I could see D-Law on the other end, then I could see Sam Williams on the other end. And you got all that type of pass rush coming. That would have been special to me because they so fast, all of them. But now that part is gone, I actually believe what I'm talking about tomorrow is Michael Parsons tomorrow night. I saw something. I put the flyer up tomorrow. And I believe that even now, Sam Williams' injury affects what I was getting ready to talk about tomorrow night. So you'll see that. I'm not gonna give. I guess that's my little tease for tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, because what I had planned, because I saw something last week, I believe on Friday, and I saved it and I said I was gonna talk about it on Monday. Um, and that was of course prior to Sam getting hurt. But I'm gonna talk about it anyway. And now with Sam getting hurt, it may erase what I was getting ready to talk about, but you'll see what I'm saying tomorrow night. So Sam affects a lot of different things. It's more than just lining up there. He was pretty good against the run. He was incredibly strong. Of course, he could pass, rush the quarterback. It's a big loss. The defensive line room just took a nice blow today. Nice blow. If they were, let's just say a number, if they were, I just throw it, if they were 100, I give it now a 70. It's still good because, to be honest with you, if push came to shove, you just put Michael Parsons back at right end. Now, of course, he's gonna get wore out in the running game, but he's still gonna give you 14 sacks. He's still gonna get you that. He's still gonna put pressure on the quarterback. He's still gonna wreak havoc. He still can do that. So you still got a problem. You still got a guy that can give defensive problem. Even if you just go back to put Michael there, but Zim wants to use him differently this year. So we'll see. Well, Terry, as far as Michael goes, and then what you can't teach is weight. See, you can't do nothing against the run when you're getting run over because you're too small. You got a 300-pound left tackle over there, and Michael ain't number 240. 247. Even with the weight that he gained once the season started, he lose that weight. His body is just not conditioned to hold the weight that he has. Once he gets going, that weight come off. So he'll end up at 250 playing defensive end. You need to be at least 280, 275, 290 to play defensive end. If you weigh less than that, you're going to get swallowed up in the running game. You're going to get beat down. Then throwing the fact that he's double teamed. So they punishing him. So he know how to play the run, but if you ain't big enough, you're just not big enough. So really, guys, that's really all of really I wanted to share for those that didn't know, and for the purpose of, it's needed, because when King came on here, he didn't even know what had happened. So just for that one person to find out what happened, I'm good with that. So my purpose was done. I showed you what happened. Sam is done for the year. Sam Williams, defensive end. I think that we, for a solution, because I know we're not going to get the quality of player that Sam Williams was. So I know we're going to promote from within. I already know that. I mean, I'd be shocked if Dallas made a move. I doubt it very seriously. So I presume that if you want to make the team better, you strengthen your strength by go ahead and tighten up your secondary. I threw out the name Stephon Gilmore. He's still out there. But we all know that, again, we're talking about money. Even if you're getting Gilmore, and the Cowboys don't want to spend that money like that. The very first cornerback that goes down in the preseason or practice, you can rest assured Stephon Gilmore's name will be probably the first on the list that's going to get called. And Gilmore, people like Gilmore don't want to come to training camp anyway. those type of veterans like that, they don't want to come to training camp. They already been through it. Stephon Gilmore, long as he's in football shape, can step out there week one and play cornerback. He's working, but he's working at his own pace. They don't want to go to training camp. He's a guy that even though he missed the whole training camp, he can get in there week one in the game planning for an opponent, and you can stick him out there week one and be very comfortable with it. That's the way Gilmore is. So, I that's what I would do. Yeah. So this is just the beginning, y'all. This is preseason. Every year we always lose somebody in preseason mode or training camp. We had this same situation with Overshawn last year. Well, at least he made it to a preseason game. I remember Jerome McCoy got hurt in training camp when we finally signed a defensive tackle. Never really played with us. I remember that. This is just a part of the game, so it ain't no surprise. It ain't no spilled milk and all that type of stuff. This is a part of it. But this is where your front office, makes up the difference. So we will see how the Cowboys attack it, or if they attack it at all. This is where we find out. And so what you hope now is that you hope now that nobody else get hurt, and that ain't gonna happen. At least to the point. See, I can deal with injuries as long as I know you coming back. It's these type of injuries where there was a huge problem. See, if you telling me you tweaked your hamstring, and so okay, you tweak your hamstring, now you just sit out for the rest of training camp. Get ready for Cleveland. That's at least 4, 5, 6 weeks. Your hamstring will be much better in 5 or 6 weeks than it will be now. See, I can work with that because I know you're coming back. I can work with a separated shoulder. You coming back. I can work with a knee sprain or an ankle sprain, a grade 3 ankle sprain, where you'll be out 3 to 4 weeks or something like that, or maybe even 6 weeks. At least you're coming back. I can deal with that. But these season-ending injuries is just the killer. That's the ones that you want to avoid. Even if you get hurt and say, well, you're not going to be back for 12 weeks. Okay, what that means is you can come back for the playoff run. That's what that means. See, long as I know you're coming back, I can deal with it. Season-ending injuries, that hurts. That hurts. So the Cowboys are slightly hurt today. We'll see. All right, I'm done. Y'all check me out tomorrow night, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. tomorrow night, Central Time. 7 p.m. Central Time. I tell you what, just eliminate that. Just turn on notifications on your phone. As soon as I go live, it'll pop up there on your phone or computer or whatever. So that's all really what you have to do. I'll be with you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I've already kind of told you guys, I ain't tell nobody else. So y'all already know what I'm talking about. I saw something on Friday of last week concerning Michael Parsons and the plan that Zimmer has. I want to talk about that tomorrow night. And but we just got something added to it with the injury of Sam Williams. So let's talk about that tomorrow night. See you guys at 7 p.m. I appreciate you guys hanging with me. And we'll see you about tomorrow. Y'all get ready for tomorrow. You already know that You gonna hear this next man up. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. You know that's what Mike McCarthy gonna be saying. You know that's what whoever else is talking. Mike Zimmer, if he gets in front of a microphone, he gonna say the same thing. Steven, I'm quite sure the reporters, or if Jerry talks, I'm quite sure that the reporters would be asking them about the strategy of how to replace Sam Williams and all that type of stuff. We already know the answer to that. We already have seen enough of Jerry and Steven to know how they're going to respond. Steven is going to say next man up. Jerry's going to say next man up. The question is going to get asked about possibly going in free agency and all that type of stuff. And they're going to say, we like our guys and all, it's the same routine every year. So get ready for that. And we'll talk about it tomorrow. Quite sure we'll have some interviews about this situation that we'll hit on tomorrow night once the coaching staff gets asked the questions, or Steven, one or the other. Quite sure we'll be able to talk about this tomorrow. But until then, I appreciate you guys. See you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. This has been the one and the only, the big time show.